Everybody, I'm so excited to see you guys show up. I'm gonna go ahead and get Sylvie set up. So let's see if we can do this. Hopefully that's working. All right, hopefully she sees my invite. Uh-oh, Sylvie, you may have to back out of the film and come back because for some reason I can't add you. And while she's trying to figure that out, I am going to go ahead and just tell you a little bit about what we're doing here. So the goal is to really get to know, get to introduce you to some really awesome people who have gotten started using essential oils in their everyday life, but they've really made it a part of their entire journey. And I find that that's really one of the most important parts, is that they are making this a part of their everyday lifestyle. And it's not every day that someone finds something that they really are passionate about and that they've figured out how to make a part of a holistic lifestyle. But I think that that's something that is really important. And it really has me admiring some really cool people who have figured that out and who have found ways to integrate wonderful tools into every day. All right, Sylvie, I see you on here, but I can't bring you on. So I don't know if that's because you have to have the right kind of device, but you're not there. Everybody else who's here can come on. You might need to find another program. I don't know if it's like a computer versus an iPhone or an iPad, but I'm using my iPhone and that's working. So I see Tammy and I see Carrie, I see Paula, so you guys are all there and I can see you. So yeah, so I was getting started getting this set up, and one of the things that came to mind was that I was thinking about how Sylvie has started this journey with me kind of a while ago, and I think that that was really one of those times when I got excited because a friend was joining me on finding greater wellness. And really important to me to be doing this with good friends. And those of you who are here can share a little bit about what you have found in your wellness journey too. Well, Sylvie's trying to figure it out because I see her there, but I can't see her here. Hopefully we can figure it out soon. I have a quick question for you. So those of you who are here, what is one thing that you wanted to have better wellness in? What area would you want to be having better wellness in? And yeah, I still can't bring you on, girl. So, oh, yay, I can add you. There you are. All right, it's adding you. So I want you guys to be thinking about what's one area that you want to have greater wellness in.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
I made
All
it.
right. Can everyone hear both of us? Just send us some thumbs up, some you got it if you can, because that would really help us to be able to know that all things are working out.
Turn up my volume here.
I got it figured out. So I was giving everybody the task of figuring out what's one area of their life that they want to have greater wellness in, because I was sitting down to do this, and the quote that I showed before we got started is, the world needs dreamers and the world needs doers, but above all, the world needs dreamers who do. And I just felt like that quote really embodied you as a dreamer who does. And I love that thought of taking action with your goals. And so I wanted to hear from you, and I really appreciate you taking your time. So we're just going to jump right in. I wanted to hear from you how you got started on your wellness journey.
It's funny that you think that embodies me, because I feel like, well, before Young Living, I started to kind of give up on my dreams a little bit, I think. But I think at that time, it was about 3 years ago, and I was pretty stuck in a cycle, like an emotional cycle, you know, really up and down and feeling crazy and out of control a little bit. And then you walked into my life. Well, you didn't walk into my life, you were there already, but telling me about lavender, and I always hated lavender, so I kind of ignored you for a really long time. But then you gave me some lavender from Young Living, and it was just so different, and that kind of started my whole journey. Just being open-minded and trying it and seeing how it worked for me. I think that's the big thing, trying it and seeing how it worked for me, and then doing the next thing and seeing how that worked, and just constantly being surprised and amazed at the effects and the benefits that I was seeing, and you know, I was hooked.
Yeah, I know. It does make a difference when you actually give it a try versus just hearing about it. And what was kind of one of the first steps that you took when you got started?
So I'm the kind of person who thinks I can change everything all at once, you know, so I'll make these big giant, it's almost like New Year's resolutions, but every month, you know, I'm going to do 85 things and everything in my life is suddenly going to be magically better. And at that time, when you came along with oils for me, I realized I can't do what I think I can do, and I need to just kind of reel it back a little bit. So the first thing I did with oils was just pick one thing, one oil, and what I chose was bedtime routine. So I had already kind of been doing yoga every night before bed, and I was meditating every night. Hi, Carrie. Carrie said hi. And so I decided to just kind of add essential oils into that routine I was already building. So I did lavender. I would put it on before I did yoga, and then I made a pillow spray, and I sprayed my pillow every night. And that's it. Because I felt like my life was out of control, you know, I couldn't, and I hear this from people all the time too, like I'm too busy to learn about essential oils. I'm too busy to add one more thing into my life, and I was at the same place, so I did that, picked one thing, and I just kept doing that until it felt easy and kind of embedded in my routine, and I didn't have to think about it. And I
Hmm.
did start to feel less crazy and less hectic, and it kind of just went from there, I think.
That's awesome. So is lavender something that you're using pretty regularly now?
Uh-oh, you froze. Is lavender what?
Something that you're using pretty regularly now?
Oh yeah, I use it right before this, actually. I use it. It's one of my favorites. It's my first and it's ongoing. So another thing I really like to do with oils is to bake because I'm sugar free. So that was a thing that I really jumped on board with too, because I can't have sugar. So I always
Hmm.
look for other ways to kind of bump up the flavor profile in my food to make me feel like I'm eating something tasty when I can't have sugar. So I started baking lavender cookies and lavender cake and lavender ice cream and all kinds of stuff. And now every time I smell lavender, it makes me drool because I think about cookies. But I just put some on my ears. It's funny. I got my ears pierced, so I've been putting it on my ears, and but it's right there by my nose all the
Can
time.
smell it.
Oh, that's a great idea. I should put it on my ears all the time.
That's awesome. When you first suggested that putting lavender in food, I was very skeptical because lavender actually wasn't one of my favorites either when I first got started with essential oils. And also one of the biggest surprises for me too as to how effective it was because you're so used to smelling like lavender scented soaps or lavender scented lotions, and yeah, they're once you get started, you realize that's fake. There's nothing about that is lavender.
Yeah,
And that was always
that was the big turnoff for me when you were telling me about it, because I always imagined, lavender sachets and lavender pillows and lavender toilet paper, which my husband bought one time. Doesn't smell good. But
right.
so different. Once I smelled it, I realized there's something different here, The quality is
Sure.
different. Everything's different. Yeah.
Is there another oil at this point that you can't really live without?
Yeah, before tonight I was thinking about what are my top three oils, which is really hard. But I realized that there's three from my very first starter kit that I still use regularly all the time. And Thieves is the second one. That's like my second favorite, I think. Or at
Okay.
least my second most used. I have it in my diffuser right now, actually. But with Thieves, I started using it. So I remember back in the day looking at you and going, oh, Megan has a toxin free lifestyle. That's really nice for her, but there's no way I'll ever get there. It's just impossible. Um, but I did start using Thieves to clean. I used it particularly in my disgusting bathtub. I used it with baking soda. I used it in my kitchen. Started cleaning with just the bottle of oil and making my own cleaning supplies, and it smells so good. And the first thing that I really noticed was when I accidentally sprayed my clean dishes, and I didn't feel nervous about that. If I had sprayed it with bleach or something by accident, I would have felt like I had to rewash everything, and that was kind of a turning point for me. So yeah, Thieves for cleaning, Thieves for immune support. In the winter, I take it internally every day. I put it in my shot juice in the morning, and
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
diffuse a lot too
safer.
because I have breathing issues, and I feel like it helps to clean the air too, and it makes me at least feel like I can breathe better. So can't live without it.
Hmm. That's great. Well, and even just the removal of all that other stuff from your house probably has made a big difference.
Yeah, big difference. I don't know how many people know, but I had a lung collapse last fall, and it happened in September, and then in October, the doctor told me that I need to get rid of every single chemical in my home, which I still to this day can't believe, because if I hadn't already been on this journey, I think I would have had a meltdown. Because, like I said, when I looked at you and saw you doing it, I thought, meh, there's no way I can do that, you know? But I was already
Mhm.
pretty much mostly there, so I was pretty excited.
Mhm.
The timing was
Mhm.
really great. Yes, Emily loves thieves.
Who doesn't? Um, what was after you had detoxed your house? What was something else that you worked on or targeted, or another goal that you've had that you've been able to address?
That is such a good question. I was thinking about that today too, because I continue to find things. I think I've arrived. I think I've detoxed everything, and then I find something else, and I'm like, oh, I'm not quite there. So most recently, it was makeup. I actually threw away all of my makeup live on camera last week. Yay! And I'm a super makeup person. You might not think that if you see me in the world, but I will come home and put makeup on. Like, my husband thinks I'm a goofball. I'll have like bright red lipstick on to watch TV or something. So yeah, I have a ton of makeup, and I threw every single piece away because I got the Savvy Minerals from Young Living. So I'm super excited about that.
I think that's awesome. And you're enjoying them?
Yes, I love it. Again, like
I,
putting makeup on. Now I'm wearing it out in the world more instead of just at home on my couch.
that's awesome. Um, is there something that really helped you with getting started, or something that you feel has been really invaluable as you've been changing your wellness around?
Yeah, I'd say two things. The starter kit that Young Living has, I think when I got started, it was just so overwhelming. There's so many oils and so much to learn. And I feel like that starter kit kind of narrows your focus, and it helped me to just be able to give myself permission to pick one or two things at a time. So yeah, that I think is really awesome way that they get people into membership. It's not just cool that you can get a membership that way, but it's cool that they kind of guide you through the learning process. And then the second thing along the same lines of being guided is just the team of people that I've met through Young Living. Watching people who are just like me, who are, busy. There's moms and career women, and everybody's, just your average person, and they're doing it. And learning from each other, I think, is really valuable.
Hmm. I agree. And you know what? That's kind of interesting because you got started, you were at one of my first classes that I taught, and you got started soon thereafter. And I have to say, it's a reciprocal relationship. Like, you feel like you've learned from me, or you've seen, but I feel like I've learned so much from you and from others who have gotten started with you. And this chain reaction is just really cool to see that, pass it on kind of effect.
Yeah, and I feel like everybody has their little niche. Like, I appreciate oils for emotions and for baking, and then someone else uses them for fitness, and someone else uses them for other, so we can all find our little expertise and then help each other, and you don't have to learn everything yourself.
Right. I mean, you got started using lavender because I was singing its praises, and all week I've diffused patchouli. Like, what is that?
Yeah, I'm the patchouli queen.
So I truly appreciate that, perspective from you too, and you finding things that you've really encouraged, others back to using also. What do you see as kind of the ongoing step or the next step in your Young Living journey?
Well, I'm kind of scared to say it out loud. I think I really want to focus on Young Living as a business. And I never thought I would ever say that, frankly.
I never thought you would ever say that either, to be
Kind of
honest.
was like, no, I will never ever do this. Stop asking me. I don't
Right.
want to do it. There's just so much I've learned about myself through this.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things, see, I'm going to cry. I'm a crier. Sorry. Um, oh, I always feel
I'm
like,
a crier, so be careful.
make everybody cry. I feel like there's always been something kind of weird about me. Like, one of the things I really love is just watching other people succeed. And for some reason, I thought that was kind of weird. Like, why do I care what they're doing? You know, in our culture, it's kind of like focus on yourself and be independent. And I don't know, I'm just driven to provide information to people and support them in whatever their goals are and be non-judgmental and just give what I can. And I read a book with our Young Living team called Game Plan, and it was written by Sarah Harnish. Kind of, wait a minute.
Oh, I think
Oh no, you're frozen. Am I frozen?
you froze first.
Okay.
So I heard written by Sarah Harnish.
Yeah, and I realized she is kind of like me in that way, because there was a line in that book that said something about pouring into other people, and it allows you to do that. And when I read that, I just kind of grabbed on it and was like, that's me. That's what I love to do. And so that's kind of where my next step is. And I have been doing that, pouring into other people. I feel like we're all in this technological culture, even though we're using technology tonight. People are missing that human connection. They're missing that, someone really listening to me, and that's what I want to do and be. And Young Living gives me the ability to do that in a very hands-on, practical way. So not just listening to people, but also giving them tools that can help them thrive in their own lives and goals. So it's exciting to me to see that into the future. Scary, but
Yeah.
exciting.
It's really a unique opportunity because it's a unique business model in that helping others thrive is, again, that chain reaction to find more people to grow and thrive, and wellness and in a business sense too.
Yeah, it's really special.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're doing an amazing job at it, and I know that you have blessed a lot of lives, and I know that everybody who is on here who has been touched by you has definitely been grateful, and I am truly grateful too. I know that anybody else who has any questions can throw them into the comments here. It's just wonderful to have this opportunity to really talk to you about your journey and what that's looked like. Are there any other things that you'd like to wrap up and share?
Yeah, the thing that has really stuck with me as far as using essential oils, especially for emotional health and stability, is just having a tool to use. I remember feeling like just standing in a room and feeling completely stuck. Like I'm having a breakdown. I don't know what to do with myself. There's nothing I can do. What can I do? There's nothing I can do. And then looking and having a shelf full of oils and going, why don't I just sniff oil, And wow, like
Mm-hmm.
having something you can do is just so amazing. And it changed everything for me. So I like having multiple tools to approach oil, or not oils, I'm oil obsessed. Multiple tools to approach my wellness, not just emotional wellness, but all kinds of wellness, and that the oils really just slot right into that.
Absolutely. And I think it's cool too because you have a background in mental health. And so you can see that connection and see the validity of it too, which makes a big difference. And I think that that's such a really cool opportunity to be able to provide that to others too.
Yeah, because sometimes in therapy you think, oh, I'm just going to sit there and talk. Woohoo, how's that going to help me? And it does, but it's harder to kind of pinpoint how that works and why. And I feel like oils have this, I don't know, more tangible kind of thing to it in conjunction with other stuff. I'm not saying don't go to therapy, because I go to therapy still, but
Right. It's a good balance. And it's an empowering thing I think the thing that I see different from it is that it's the thing you're taking home. It's right there in your same space all the time
Yeah.
versus having to go to a therapist or having to, get to a place of finding that support. It's something that the word I continually go back to is empowering.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
you're empowered. And in a lot of the things that you've said, you empowered yourself to have a non-toxic cleaning, and you empowered yourself to have tools for emotions. And that's a word that I know means a lot. I
Yeah.
think that that's huge. So I thank you, and I thank you so much for empowering others on a regular basis and sharing a little bit about your journey. And I look forward to continuing it with you because I agree. It's so much fun to see you succeeding and see others succeeding too.
Yeah, it's fun to do it with you too. And I can't wait to hear from Stephanie and Emily later this week.
No, it's great to hear all the different perspectives too,
Yeah.
because it is an individualized thing. So thank you for kicking off this week, and I appreciate it. And I will see you soon.
All right. Thanks. Thanks everybody for
Thank you.
watching.
Yeah.